Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode of the Football Sweet Chat Show. I'm your host Leon, and with me always my co-host Richard and head of social media Andrew. How's it going, guys?
Yeah, it's good, thanks, mate.
Yeah, good, mate. You?
Very good. As you know, it's been an interesting week for football. We're letting Andrew off the Arsenal United score.
Thank you very much.
I know Richard's gutted about that, but it's a Champions League episode. That's what we got to do. Our topics today are the match analysis from the Champions League games. Messi, is he the best player of all time? Who will be the next Premier League manager to get sacked? And the controversy with Dave Whelan, his stupid comments, and appointing a manager who's currently in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. So let's get underway with the match analysis. We'll start off with the Manchester City Bayern Munich. Did you guys get to see the match?
Yeah, I watched it. I think it's just, look, at the end of the day, you can't take anything away from Manchester City. You know, to the disappointment of being 2-1 down to a team with 10 men to come back and win the game like they did with 3-2. I just think I think we've spoken about it previously, and it seems to be the case with a lot of teams at the moment, especially Liverpool last season. Without Sergio Aguero, I struggle to see where Man City would actually be in the league if he gets injured. Like he
he's such a big player, isn't he? Such a big player.
Well, for me, he's one of the very, very few. I mean, you look at your Ronaldos and your Messis. I know we'll pick up on Messi a little bit later, and Suarez, etc. But for me, Sergio Aguero is one of them players where you know very well when he's going through like he did. That obviously got brought down for the penalty in the first half, but the two goals that he scored, you don't expect that ball to go anywhere other than in the back of the net. You don't think, is he going to fluff it? Is he going to take an extra?
Yeah, he's one of them few players where you feel confident if he's through on goal. This is in the back of the net.
Yeah, he's going to score. If he's 1-on-1 with a goalkeeper, most players in that scenario, it's 2-2. It's the 92nd, 93rd minute, whichever it was. The defender's made a mistake. He's got a couple of defenders chasing him back. You don't expect anything of it. He's going to keep a cool head and he's going to slot it in the bottom corner. It's as simple as that. Yeah,
definitely, I agree. What are your opinions on the match, Andrew?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with Richard. I think Man City, just the best thing about Man City is they have Aguero, so it's like they're always going to score goals. And like I said, I mean, it's 10 men, but I mean, this is Bayern Munich. I mean, Bayern Munich, you can say, don't have anything to play for in the match, but I mean, me personally, I don't think Pep Guardiola teaches his team that. I think he says we're getting 3 points in every match. I think it was just because of the red card that I think it changed it a bit. But I just thought I really enjoyed the match. I think it's what we love about the Champions League. It's our champions versus Germany's champions. And
I think it was I totally agree. I also think it was interesting because I think before going into that match, people already had Bayern Munich as the winners. And okay, they won, and Man City won against 10 men, but then, you can't blame City for that. They only exploited Bayern's weaknesses.
Yeah, exactly.
And Bayern didn't exactly have a weak team out. They had a very good team, a team that a lot of players could get into any other squad.
Yeah, I think it was just a combination. Fundamentally, there was a lot in that game of defensive errors. From both sides really, and I think that's where the issue is. Both teams have got players up front and attacking options that are going to make chances. They're going to be a threat. They're going to put the ball in the back of the net. But, would you really say Bayern Munich have got a world-class defence? They've got a good defence. They've got a world-class goalkeeper. Don't get me wrong, he's a world-class goalkeeper. The same with Manchester City. They've got a world-class defender. They've got an average goalkeeper. So, they've got a good defence, but there's always going to be their mistakes. And that, it was a night where it was raining, the pitch was a lot quicker, both teams like to pass and move. And it was an exciting game of football, and especially for a neutral.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Who didn't really care either way whether City were going to win or Bayern Munich were going to win, and for me, it's made now. If Man City get beat in that game, it makes the end that Champions League group now is just irrelevant. So it's now, in a fortnight's time, it's
got 3 teams battling, really.
Yeah, that last game, Man City going away to Roma. Are Roma going to want to come out? Are they going to do the Italian mentality and sit back and defend and try and catch Man City on the break? If it gets to look, let's be perfectly honest. In that game coming up against Roma, if it gets to 15, 20 minutes to go, and that game is 0-0, Man City are going to go hell for leather to try and score, and Roma are going to try and catch him on the break. It's going to be an entertaining game of football.
Oh, definitely.
But
also, when you just said about the bad defence, like, I don't know whether it's a bad defence, but I also think it's a defence that hasn't been tested.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Like, you look at the teams that they're facing in the league, and, there isn't many sort of, 20-goal-a-year strikers that they've come across. Like, before it was Dortmund with Lewandowski, but they've just taken him, so...
And this is to pick up again on a point from a few weeks ago in regards to, the Bundesliga, etc., That's why I don't think you can ever class it as an exciting league or one of the best leagues in the world, because, you know very well, season in, season out, the winners of that competition are 95% of the time going to be Bayern Munich.
Yeah. And especially now that Dortmund's gone, especially now that the fact that Dortmund have seemed to have gone on a bit of a downpour at the moment, and that's going to take about a year to sort of get back into form, and that's without the sort of rumours.
Are they 2 places above relegation or 2 places above the bottom of the league at the present?
They weren't doing well the last time I saw. I know that for a fact, but also it all depends. If Royce suddenly says, there's the rumours with Chelsea, there's potentially Arsenal, who else wants him, but if he steps up and says, I want Champions League football, that's your key player gone. Who do you bring in? You're not going to bring in Champions League quality players, and that's going to be the big problem for them.
Yeah, definitely.
And also, who will Bayern want from Dortmund? They've taken a couple of their players. Could they possibly take Royce? Should they be allowed to?
I don't think there's anything stopping him, but it's where he's going to play in that team. I think obviously with Marcus Royce again, it's unfortunate. Again, it's another injury. He's out for another long period of time. That the lad just can't seem to catch a break. I think we'll see him in the Premier League, whether it be as a replacement for Steven Gerrard at Liverpool, whether it's adding that little bit of extra spark and quality into the midfield of Arsenal. Can I see him at Manchester United? I don't think he's the kind of player that Manchester United need. No. To be perfectly honest, same as I just picking up on that point, I don't understand again these rumours about Wesley Sneijder coming in the new year. I don't see where he fits in. We've got that type of player. We've got your Matzers. We've got that type of player that plays there already.
And also, it's the Schneider from 3 years ago people are thinking of, really, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're not looking at the clearer picture that this is a sort of retiring player now. And
I can only really see Marcus Rouse, if he comes to the Premier League, I can only ever see him going to either Arsenal or Liverpool. And for me,
you don't think Chelsea?
No, I don't think Chelsea need him. I don't think Chelsea...
Oh, no, I'm not saying for the need, but that's never really stopped us before.
Well, no, but in all fairness, is the lad going to want to come and play week in, week out, or is he going to want to come and maybe sit on the bench for 50% of his season?
No, that's different, but it depends how much the manager wants him. It depends how much Mourinho wants him. If Mourinho says that I'm going to guarantee you time, then, it's a big thing. I don't think he'll get time, and I don't think he would deserve... I don't think he'd warrant a place coming in.
On that basis, if let's say, for instance, he does go to Chelsea, who would you sacrifice in the Chelsea midfield?
Oh, no, I'm saying I wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what, the kid's not stupid. He knows very well that he walks into Arsenal's team week in, week out. He's a million times better than Jack Wilshere. He's a million times better than Ramsey, Cazorla. Anybody that Arsenal have got is a million times better. He'd actually...
I think he's a million times better than Sanchez.
Not Sanchez, but he's a different type of player to Sanchez.
Oh, right, yeah.
A completely different type of player to Sanchez. For me, you've got to look at it this way. You've got Sanchez at the moment who's playing some worldy football. Yeah. That the goal we scored again on the other night was just ridiculously good. You know, if Arsenal can get that world-class goalkeeper, a calibre of centre-backs like they had, back in the, the late 90s in your Adams and Keown, that calibre of defender, solid, no nonsense, know what they're doing. Marcus Rouse in midfield with, Welbeck and Sanchez and Ramsey, that's frightening. That's a frightening, partnership there. I can't see him going to Liverpool because I don't think Liverpool will qualify for the Champions League, and he's going to won Champions League football, isn't he? So,
yeah.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. Also, we'll get on to the next match. It wasn't a good Champions League match day for any of the German teams, really. We'll go on to the Arsenal match. Did you guys manage to see it?
Yeah, I watched it.
What did you think of the match?
Your dad, Andrew, right?
Oh, did you? All right.
But I was literally just getting my seat. Obviously, for people who realise, I am not an Arsenal fan, so don't ever think that.
He's not converted yet.
No.
Maybe one day.
Don't tarnish him with that brush. He's a glory hunter. He's not a proper fan.
Yeah, he's definitely not a glory hunter if he comes to Arsenal. I can guarantee him that.
He was a City fan 18 months ago.
I was. No, but it was. I thought it was a good match, but from Arsenal, and it was something that I hadn't seen Arsenal do a lot this season. They controlled the match. You've got to take away Dortmund are on a poor run. Yeah, they're on a poor run, but you've got to play the teams that are in front of you. And I felt Arsenal done it perfectly.
Yeah, definitely. The thing that I shouldn't really be saying it, but the thing I actually loved is the fact that Arsenal didn't concede 2 goals in the last 20 minutes. They actually managed to kill off a game finally.
Yeah. And
it was just great to actually finally see, because I actually did watch it and thought, even after the Anderlecht and the Swansea match, I thought actually there's not going to be, they might actually not concede here. And to be honest, it's not something I should be thinking, but obviously with past events I've had to. But I was just really happy with the performance actually.
Yeah. I think Arsenal played some good football, which they always do. They always play good football, and you can't take that away from them. No matter what side that Arsene Wenger puts out, they know how to play football. It's that killer instinct, and you can only beat the team that's put in front of you. But would that Arsenal side, with the injury, the young goalkeeper in net, and Welbeck injured, Giroud not fully fit, Sanogo up front, would that Arsenal team have beat Dortmund from 18 months ago, 2 years ago? I don't think they would have done. As you say, you can only beat what's in front of you. Arsenal did the job. I thought Dortmund didn't really have anybody with that killer instinct.
No, definitely. That was as an actual team. It was like, I'd probably say the worst Dortmund team I've watched.
Yeah.
It was they just offered nothing, and as an overall they played poor, and you could see why Klopp was very angry, because that you do not want to see that as a manager. You want to see at least something. You want to see him at least have a decent chance. But they were woeful. I was shocked. Like I tweeted out, I was shocked by how poor that Dortmund were, and their fans still cheered them for 90 minutes. It must have been difficult coming from Germany to watch that.
Yeah, I was just going to question, do you guys think Dortmund didn't play to the fullest mentality because they're already qualified?
I don't know. I felt like they were trying to, but they just had no end product.
Yeah, they didn't seem to. It wasn't the Dortmund team of old. There was nobody. There was no killer passes. There was nobody. Yeah. You didn't really think there's a goal in this team.
No.
I didn't see a goal. Obviously, I know they had the opportunity in this first half where the keepers made a great save for the knockdown on the header, but they didn't really offer anything. There was
I agree.
Bit of, we've already qualified. We're struggling in the league as it is. We're second from bottom or third from bottom or whatever it is that they are. Maybe it was a little bit of a mentality as well. Look, this game doesn't really matter. We're only playing a small team from England, so we don't need to really push ourselves.
Had to get that little bit in, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I agree. It was I don't know whether so much that they probably thought let's just take it slow here, but you know, if you're going to do that, you don't really play your first 11. But they had their first 11 out. I just think it was the fact that they know they're playing poor and Arsenal just done all the right things. I think to say that Dortmund, you know, didn't do anything kind of disrespectful to Arsenal at the fact that they controlled the match.
Yeah, Arsenal controlled the match from the minute they kicked off. I mean, you know, every time Arsenal went forward, they looked a threat. And to pick up on the point from the first game, the City game, you know, Sanogo scored he's linked up well with Cazorla. He scored a great goal. He then goes through one-on-one with a goalkeeper. Now, I don't think anybody in world football was watching that and thinking Sanogo's going to go on here and he's going to wrap this one into the top corner, or he's going to go round the keeper and stick it in. Whereas if that was Aguero, that's 2-0 to Arsenal. You know, if that's Suarez, it's 2-0 to Arsenal. If it's Messi, it's 2-0 to Arsenal. If it's Wayne Rooney, it's 2-0 to Arsenal. Whereas, and that's the thing, I think if Arsenal have had their full strength team out, even if it's Danny Welbeck, I think Danny Welbeck probably 8 times out of 10 probably sticks that in the back of the net. But you didn't think that Sanogo was going to do. And that's the difference. I think if Arsenal has a full strength team out there, they probably embarrass Dortmund and beat them 4-5-0.
Yeah, I think as well with that Sanogo chance as well, I think that was just an experience of what he was doing. You know, when he cut inside and everything. I don't know what all that was about, but it's also the fact that I think Podolski should have been in that position. He should have started, I think, even though Sanogo did score, obviously. But
I thought it would have been good for Podolski, even to at least get 45 minutes.
There's definitely something in there. Wenger's doesn't like it.
He seems to have frozen him out, really, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
He doesn't seem to be wanted in a way, and I know there's been things in the press and that he's coming out saying he's happy at the club and he wants to fight for his place, etc. But come on, we're all humans. He wants to play football, and it'll only be a matter of time. It's pretty similar with Anderson at Manchester United.
And also, I think it's probably difficult for him to come out and say, "Oh yeah, I'm unhappy here," because it just gives Wenger the ammo that he wants.
Plus, he's such a fan's favourite as well. He's got such a thing with the fans that I think if he came out and said I'm unhappy, I think he would be worried that he'd lose something.
Yeah, definitely. Right, let's get on to the next match. It was another German team failed. It was Chelsea versus Schalke. Absolute demolition job by Chelsea. And what did you guys think of it?
Can I just ask, Leon, are you sat there at Stamford Bridge just laughing at the rest of us as you're just walking through the league and just battering so many people in the Champions League? Is this like the perfect season at the minute?
I think it's perfect when you look back at it.
It's a bit similar from a couple of years ago when he was sat at Eastlands doing the same thing. So he's felt it before. Don't worry about it, Andrew.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Yeah, but I think it's perfect when you look back at it. I think when you're still watching through it, you're still as nervous as any other team because you think, how long will this last? How long will this last? And you think, oh, is this player going to get injured? You know, you look at other teams in the league like United and City and Arsenal where their best players are getting injured. You think, oh, what if he's injured? You know, we've seen it with Diego Costa, and it's brilliant to see the team playing well, but you still got that in the back of your mind.
I think as well with Chelsea.
With Chelsea, I mean, barring Manchester United, who have they played in the Premier League?
Played City, Arsenal, Liverpool.
But Man City, that's it. You're expected to beat Arsenal. No disrespect to Arsenal or Arsenal fans.
No, it's true.
You expect Chelsea to beat Arsenal.
Yeah.
You expect Chelsea to beat Liverpool. To be perfectly honest with you, you should have beat Manchester United at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
But to be fair, you've only really played Man City, and you know this. I don't know. I mean, are Chelsea going to walk the league? Quite possibly. You're probably going to have it wrapped up by February, with the way everybody else is playing. But is that the Mourinho effect? Is that because Chelsea are actually better than everybody else, or is it the same situation as 2 years ago with United and Ferguson's last season? Man United don't win that Premier League season if Man City have the season they had before, or if Liverpool had the season they had last year, or if Arsenal And nobody had a good season. And Manchester United had a good season, so they won the league.
Yeah. But it happens a lot, doesn't it? Where like a team will just take advantage and blitz every other team. But
then again, is there going to be that stage in the season where Chelsea lose a couple of games on the bounce and the bubble bursts, so to speak? And
well, that's the thing that I just said. Like that's why I'm not sort of like laughing through every match, thinking, "Aha, we're walking this," because I know that there's always the next match, and there's always difficult opponents, and sometimes you get surprised by the lowest team. But I think the way that we've been playing against these lower teams, we've been shutting up shop, and we've got the right players. We've brought in players that we needed. We didn't bring in players that we didn't. And that's what I felt that we've got different than we did last year, and that's why I think we're doing so well.
But I think with you guys as well, it's like the point you said before. You worry Diego Costa gets injured, but Remy just walks straight into his place.
Exactly, and also
teams fought to get his signature.
And also, if Hazard gets injured, we've got Mo Salah as cover, we've got Andre Schürrle as cover, we've got Ramirez who can play in that role. We've got a very strong second team.
That's what I mean. You've got World Cup winners on your bench.
Yeah,
and Schürrle and stuff like that. I think personally, there's not many seasons that have gone past where Chelsea wouldn't probably, maybe not as many points ahead, but would not be in the same position they are now. I think they'd be at the top in most seasons.
And I also think that always depends on the manager as well. You looked at some managers, and Mourinho's very defensive, and that's helped a lot. With other managers where they've just been full attack. Okay, some people don't like it, but then if you get a manager like Mourinho, you've got to expect certain things.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think the Schalke match really showed that. We just, scored in the first couple of minutes and then never even looked like losing at all. But what did you guys actually think of the match?
I think exactly what you were saying. I think as soon as you scored, you just took complete control, and it was just your match. It was just a matter of how many you were going to score.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I'm probably going to get ridiculed for this because I say it pretty much all the time, but I just don't see where the quality is outside of Bayern Munich in the German league.
No, it is true,
and I just can't see it. Are Schalke ever going to win the Champions League? Are they ever going to win the Bundesliga? No. It's that's the answer to that question. No.
Unless there's a wealthy sort of benefactor that comes in, but then they can't really do that in Germany.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's exactly the same as basically asking the same question. Are Newcastle ever going to win the Premier League or the Champions League? No, they're not. Unless they get a wealthy owner like Man City got, like Chelsea got, and they invest over 2 or 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and they end up having world-class players by paying them £500,000 a week instead of paying them 50 grand a week. You know, that's the only time that's going to happen.
But also, I think you've got to look at with certain teams as well. Like when you look at like Man City, they were very low in the league when they were bought out. With Chelsea, we was a Champions League team already. You only needed a stepping up a bit and a certain group of players.
But that's the thing. For me, the German league is weak.
Yeah.
There's one world-class team in there. There's maybe a couple of average teams.
And a very rich world-class team as well.
Exactly. Yeah. But like I said, going back a few weeks, I think it was maybe the first or the second show that we did, without having the German league table up in front of you, there isn't anybody that could name me the teams that are in the German league, in the German Bundesliga. Whereas you ask the vast majority of people, and they'll name you 75% of the Spanish teams in La Liga, 75% of the Italian teams, 75 if not 100% of every Premier League team.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Unless you've got the Bundesliga in front of you, you don't know. You Bayern Munich, Dortmund, Schalke, and then it starts getting a bit iffy.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. Right, let's go on to the next topic. Messi, is he the best?
Come on, let's talk about Liverpool You can't take Arsenal, Man United, and Liverpool away from me in one show. Come on.
Go on then, Richard. You got 5 minutes. Say what you want.
I don't need it. I've got 30 seconds of embarrassment to English football. Let's move on.
Fair enough. That's done.
You have to talk about that Mignolet mistake though for the first goal. Come on.
Did anybody see the Bruce Grobbelaar interview with the BBC?
No, I didn't.
Look, anybody listening to this show, look, Bruce Grobbelaar's probably one of the biggest characters in the game. Back in the day, he was a great goalkeeper. For a long period of time, probably one of the best in the world. His interview with the BBC about Mignolet was spot on. He is not a good goalkeeper. He's a shot stopper, and that is it. He is probably up there with some of the worst goalkeepers we've seen in the league. And that's Liverpool's problem. You know, they've got a goalkeeper there that is going to concede 30 plus goals a season. Guaranteed, because he's going to make mistakes. It was elementary.
I actually haven't had a chance to see the highlights, but I know a lot of people said it was ridiculous.
It was poor, but the thing is as well, again, I mean, he's made the mistake. Liverpool have gone 1-0 down. Within seconds, minutes, they won all. They're 2-1 up. Did anybody think Liverpool were going to win that game? In the way that they're playing at the moment? Not a chance. And they've drawn again. I mean, is this 5 games now on the bounce without a win?
It's something like that. Yeah, they've been shocking.
5 or 6 games with was it four defeats in the Premier League, whatever it's since the Chelsea game.
Wow.
Or when whatever it's been. I mean, look, for me, every Liverpool fan had the field day with David Moyes, but it's if you look at the statistics, David Moyes has got a better win percentage with Manchester United than Brendan Rodgers has got with Liverpool.
And that's with 100 million spent as well.
Exactly. And that's with a lot of money spent on that football club. And for me, it's... can I say it? Is it a sinking ship? Are they really just a mid-table team that got lucky for one season?
But also, I feel like a lot of the fans, you know, that they've got a tremendous history, but I think a lot of their fans feel like they're entitled to be in the Champions League. They're entitled to be playing the best football in the league. Well, you can't expect to play the best football in the league when you haven't got a good enough attack.
Yeah. Look, I was joking. I was joking clearly to anybody out there that listens to this. Look, Liverpool are not an embarrassment to English football. Liverpool are probably one of the best ambassadors to our football game in regards to history and what they've done. Regardless of which way any football fan, including Manchester United fans, want to sugarcoat over it. Well, they've won 5 European Cups. Yeah, not Forest have won a couple, but come on, they've won European Cups. They've performed well. Yeah, they've not won the domestic.
Oh, definitely, and I can imagine they would have done really well if they had Suarez in this team.
But look, at the end of the day, with Liverpool at the moment, it's a classic situation with a football club. They've tried to carry on. The best scenario I can give you this is, maybe it's going to sound like a sales talk, but they've rose to the top of the wave, so to speak, and they've tried to ride that wave as long as possible. Now they've lost Suarez, they've had the blip, the slip, and whatever else last season, and they lost the league when they should have won it. Now it's easy getting to the top of that wave. It's easy getting to the top of your league. The hard part is staying there. And I think they just thought it was a given right. You know, you had Brendan Rodgers coming out at the start of the season telling Louis van Gaal that he was going to struggle in the Premier League. It's a different kettle of fish. You've got players coming out and pundits and ex-professionals saying that they're going to win the league and they're going to do this. And it's just, well, hang on a minute. They've had one good season in God knows how many. Let's not jump the gun here. Yeah. And they've fell off that wave, and now they're struggling getting back up there. And I think Phil Neville summed it up really, really well on Match of the Day. Again, I think this was on BBC. I think it was on Match of the Day 4, or however many Match of Days they have now. And he just basically said, look, let's be perfectly honest, Liverpool are a mid-table team. And last year, they had that one lucky season. They had that Roy of the Rovers season where they've got up and fighting for the Premier League. A bit similar to Blackburn Rovers, a bit similar to when Newcastle were, a bit similar to when Aston Villa were. But then to this season, it's corrected itself and they're back where, in a way, where they belong with the squad and the team that they've got.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we've talked about it enough, haven't we? We all sort of agree on that subject.
Yeah.
Right. Let's get on to the next topic. It's Messi. Is he the best player of all time? Andrew, why don't you start us off?
Well, I mean, he's up there. I mean, this guy is actually... Words can't describe how good this guy is. I mean, what was it? He had 2 records to beat in a week. And he scores a hat-trick in each game to beat those records. La Liga and the Champions League.
See, I think Richard's going to have a completely different answer to this one.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I think he's up there in the best player of all time, but I don't think he is the best player of all time. I think, for me personally, I think all he has to do is come to the Premier League and prove it here. Because Ronaldo, for me, has done it in different leagues.
Yeah.
Whereas Maradona and Pele, they're in a different league because they won the World Cup, which neither Ronaldo and Messi's done. So I think whereas to do what them two, Pele and Maradona, didn't do, is to do it in Spain, in like Central Europe, and then in England. I think if Messi can do it in England, I think he will be definitely.
Do you think he ever will?
I think he's a bit too comfortable, but I think with all these things about him leaving, but to be honest, if I think he leaves Barcelona, I think he does a Pep Guardiola and goes to Bayern Munich and plays it safe.
Yeah. Hello?
Yep. Look, I'll put this out there right now. Lionel Messi, is he the best player of all time? No. No, he's not. Is he the best player in the world? Yeah, he is. And
really?
The reason why he's the best player in the world, and the reason why, even as a Manchester United fan, if Manchester United were going to spend £100 million on any player, I'd want it being spent on Lionel Messi. And for one reason, and one reason only. Compare him to Ronaldo, and they're completely different players. Let's not forget that. They're completely different players.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Worlds apart when it comes to the way that they both play football. But I'd have Lionel Messi in my team above Ronaldo, because Lionel Messi plays for the team, not for Lionel Messi.
That's a great point.
Yeah, that's a very, very
Cristiano Ronaldo plays football for Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, I think he really showed that in the Champions League final last year.
Yeah.
In any game you watch, you look at any game you watch, and if Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't get the ball when he thinks he should have it, he's throwing his arms about, he's moaning, he's having a paddy. If Cristiano Ronaldo's on the edge of the box and there's a square pass to another player for the player to have a shot on goal, Cristiano Ronaldo will try a little trick and try and score the goal himself. Lionel Messi will see that the fact that, look, I ain't getting anywhere here, so I'm going to knock this off and we're going to score a goal.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. And that's why I'd have him in my team above Ronaldo. And that's why I'd say he is the best player in the world, because... Look, forget your statistics and how many Ballon d'Ors he's won and how many individual titles he's won. You know, the biggest statistic of all is his entire league career of 474 games and 382 goals is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Especially for a player that, and this is the embarrassing thing, and this goes back to a couple of episodes ago with England. Lionel Messi, if he was English, he'd have been released by any football club in the top divisions because he'd be too small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's too small. So you need to be big.
Yeah, instead of adapting the way he
exactly
adapt to himself to that player.
He's world class. He's not the best player in the world. The best player in the world of all time, without a shadow of a doubt, was George Best. And I don't care what anyone says, because if you can play that good when you're absolutely blottoed, then look, you give Pele 15 cans of Guinness and let's see if he can go and win a World Cup. George Best did it on his own, and he was drunk.
To be fair, Maradona was on some stuff when he won his as well.
Yeah, allegedly, everybody.
Yeah, all allegedly. Wink, wink.
Just put that one in there, allegedly.
Yeah, in my personal opinion, whenever I watch like sort of old footage, the player that I always look back to is Messi, is Maradona and Pele, but I haven't seen anyone else really implement that since. Like you look at Messi and Ronaldo, and they're amazing, but they haven't got what them people had.
Look, I think as well. I mean, and this is another thing as well. I mean, I think there's a lot of people forget a lot of factors. You know, do you really think that Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo and your Zinedine Zidanes and your Luis Figos and anybody else over the last 10, 15 years, do you really think any of these players could have played football the way they play now on the type of football pitches, with the type of ball, with the type of boots that the likes of Pele, Best, Law, Charlton, Charlie George, you know, any of these players?
No,
do you really
they're way too pampered.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, you know, can you imagine how good Pele would have been at 20 to 27 playing on a football pitch like we play on today, with a ball like we play today, in the football boots like we play today? Can you imagine how good George Best would be?
Yeah. And also, you look at like George Best, you look at Pele, and you look at like Maradona, like people are hacking him down and they're still carrying on. You know, you look at like a player now and one touch with the arm where he barely touches him and he's on the floor. You know, you've seen like
I've
people
seen a video of George Best.
Yeah.
Have his football boot taken off.
Yeah, and he runs and scores.
Yeah.
And he carries on playing.
Yeah. Can you imagine that now? They'd be on a stretcher, like if somebody accidentally walked into him when they were like lining up a free kick.
Well, did you not see that guy in the World Cup when the referee sprayed that invisible spray on his boots? He was devastated.
It's
He
ridiculous.
wanted to get subbed.
Yeah. But that's the thing also. Like I think a lot of people like now, and yeah, it happens at Chelsea, I imagine. It happens at every club. I think people see money, I will play. No money, I will not play. So nothing else comes into it. That's why I don't think players are gutted when they leave. I don't think they have regrets when they leave. Like when people say, "Oh, do you think Nasri regrets going to Man City?" Or do you think Sleb or Flamini regret leaving Arsenal? I don't think they do, because I think...
In all fairness on that point, I'd just like to point out that Hleb did start crying once when he was at Birmingham during an interview. When he started crying because someone said, "Do you regret leaving Arsenal?"
That's only because he was on £25 a week at Birmingham.
Yeah, that's because he's ended up at Birmingham. Let's be fair.
That's
like,
a good point.
If you've gone from like Barcelona to Birmingham, like it's probably not the best. But like even at Chelsea, like I don't think a lot of players would be that worried about leaving as long as they see pound signs.
Yeah, definitely.
Look, at the end of the day, do I honestly feel that Lionel Messi will ever play in any other league than La Liga? Let's be honest.
No.
We're forgetting a major thing here as well. Lionel Messi's 27 years of age, and he's already made 474 career appearances, scored 382 goals. He's already made 96 international appearances and scored 45 goals. This lad, the way he plays football, the way that he'll have his mentality, that Spanish mentality, that South American that mentality of looking after your body, looking after yourself. This lad could play for another 10 years.
Yeah,
but also does he?
The lad could still be playing in 10 years' time, and he's already scored just shy of 400 goals.
And also, I think we've got to look at the fact that, yeah, we all want him to come to the Premier League and sort of prove himself like over Ronaldo. But has he really got anything to prove? Like, he's done it. He's done everything he can.
Was there ever any doubt? Was there any ever doubt that Lionel Messi was going to break the Champions League goal-scoring record before Ronaldo? I don't think there was. No. Was there ever any doubt he was going to break the La Liga goal-scoring record before Ronaldo?
No. But also, like you look at Ronaldo at Real Madrid, and he's there because he's the top dog. Like if anyone came in above him, I can't imagine him staying. Where I think with Barcelona, Messi has grown with that club, so I think he cares about that club. But I think Ronaldo probably cares about being at the top.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I don't think he's got any emotional attachment to Real Madrid. Like I think if somebody came in, like for instance, say if Chelsea came in and bid 120 million for him and gave him the wages he wanted, as long as he was getting more than everyone else, I think he'd go.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's just my opinion. But let's go to the next topic. Who will be the next manager to get sacked in the Premier League? Andrew, why don't you kick us off with this one?
I thought about this one. It's quite a tough one, obviously, with the Premier League season we've had with Alan Pardew coming back from the dead and everything. So I don't obviously want to be listening to this back in 3 weeks' time and sounding like a right idiot. But just this season, how they're going, I think Paul Lambert's going to be the one getting sacked. And I say that because Aston Villa at the minute are up for sale. And I think as soon as they get bought, one thing we tend to see in the Premier League is as soon as someone buys a club, they want their man in. And so I think as soon as somebody comes and buys Villa, I think Paul Lambert be the one to go, because I think as well just how poor they're doing this season. I think we all remember seeing Aston Villa 4 years ago, that team that they had with Downing and Bonglehor at his best and everything. They were such a good team. And I just don't know what's happened to them in the minute. And I don't think Paul Lambert has the answers, to be honest. I think he should never have left Norwich, to be honest, because he had them in quite a good position. And I think Aston Villa's so poor this season, I think he will be the first one to go.
Yeah, definitely.
Going to have to disagree.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Who do you think?
I'm going to have to disagree. Look, for me, if Liverpool lose their next 2 games, they sack Rodgers.
Do you think?
I don't think they sack him till the end of the season.
No, they'll sack him, and the reason why they'll sack him is because there's one manager in world football at the moment that everybody wanted 12, 18 months ago. When Arsenal were talking about new managers, when United wanted a new manager, when Real Madrid were looking for a new manager, when Barcelona were looking for a new manager, Manchester City, Chelsea. Klopp.
But do you think Klopp leaves Dortmund?
Klopp's available. Klopp's available all day, every day. Dortmund, over the last 18, 20 months, have sold his world best players to the one rival that they challenged and got to beating them to the league. They've sold his best players to that football club. They're currently sat 2 places above the bottom of the league. So he has an interview 24, 48 hours ago saying that he does think he can manage in England and he can speak the language and he just needs to work out a few bits and bobs. Look, Liverpool, let me just put it this way, right? The reason why I think Rodgers will get the sack before anybody else, if Liverpool continue to not win football games. Just put this into perspective. Currently, as a manager, from his entire career, he's managed 267 football matches. He's lost 82 of those, and he only has a win percentage of 44%. Yeah. That's not a manager that Liverpool are going to go on and win things with, and that's where Liverpool are now, because everybody at Liverpool thinks we nearly won the league. We're in a position now where we're going to start winning FA Cups, European Championships, qualifying for the Champions League. If Liverpool get knocked out of the Champions League and lose the next 1 or 2 Premier League games, then I think Brendan Rodgers gets the sack. He's 116 management games for Liverpool and lost 31 of them.
But do you also think that they're going to look at that and think, we'll give him to the end of the season, or do you think they'll just be too trigger happy?
No, football clubs cannot take that risk, because what if there is a bigger what if Liverpool give Rodgers till the end of the season? It's a big if that they're going to qualify for the Champions League. I think the top 4 this season will be Chelsea first. I think it'll be Liverpool, Man City second. It'll be Arsenal third, and I think it'll be United fourth. That's how it'll finish, because I just think that, and on that basis, as it stands now, that is, if Manchester United buy a couple of defenders in the new year, then I think United finish third and Arsenal finish fourth. And that's where Arsenal are more comfortable, aren't they, fourth? But Liverpool are not going to qualify for the Champions League under Brendan Rodgers. Not this season. They're not going to do it. So do they bring a manager in that's got that Champions League experience and to get that team in that mentality to get them back there?
It's definitely an interesting one. I think
the only one with that one though is the fact that if Liverpool, let's just say that was to happen and Rodgers was to be sacked mid-season, I just can't see Klopp saying, right, Liverpool's available, I'm going to leave Dortmund halfway through the season.
I think he's got too much loyalty to him.
Exactly, especially with them 3 places above the relegation zone. I just don't think he's that type of guy who'd be like, right, see ya, I'm off to Liverpool.
The thing is, though, Liverpool, again, let's forget about the negativity and forget about the way that they play football. Liverpool are one of the biggest football clubs in the world.
Yeah.
Jurgen Klopp has got the opportunity. Look, he's not managing Manchester United for at least another 3 years. He's not managing Chelsea for however long it takes Abramovich to get annoyed with Mourinho and sack him again. So he's going to Liverpool or if he's coming to the Premier League, he's going to Liverpool or Arsenal. And I can't see Arsenal sacking Arsene Wenger before Liverpool sack Brendan Rodgers.
Well, yeah, exactly. When Wenger goes, it'll definitely be in a summer as well. It wouldn't happen mid-season.
No.
So it'd be something like that. Yeah, I see what you mean completely.
Yeah, I do think that. I do think it's definitely going to be a shot between. I can't see it happening personally, but between Wenger, Rodgers, and the Tottenham manager Pochettino. Because
go on, sorry.
No, go ahead, mate. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Wenger will never be sacked. It's always going to be a thing of.
Yeah,
in the summer, a word in his ear saying, "Listen, do you fancy?"
Well, Wenger's not stupid, is he? The backroom staff that are at Arsenal, the board, these are the people that Wenger brought in. His own regime are not going to turn their back on him. You know, the only way Arsenal are going to sack Arsene Wenger is if Arsenal go on a losing streak of 10 games, get knocked out, get beaten in the knockout stage of the Champions League 10-0 home and away, and they don't win a game, they don't score a goal, and they don't actually get a point for 10 games on the bounce. And that's not going to happen because
it's all going to just come down to the Champions League for Arsenal, though. Like, Wenger will always have his job as long as they get fourth. That's all that matters. It's just that thing.
Exactly.
The thing is, as soon as they don't get fourth, he will leave. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I totally agree.
It's going to be an interesting. I can't see Lambert getting sacked on the basis that he's got the right frame of mind at Aston Villa. When you say sacked, look, I don't think you get sacked when a new owner comes in. I don't think that's a sacking. You've replaced, aren't you? I think the next manager. We're talking performance-related sackings here now. 2 months ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, I think the next person out the door was Pardew, and he's turned his entire season round.
Yeah.
I think we even mentioned it in the first couple of episodes. You know, the only reason why he's still there is because he signed an 8-year contract or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And we were obviously discussing the financial implications of sacking him and how much it would cost the club and who they're going to get in, etc. He turns his season around completely, and Newcastle go on an amazing run of games of winning and getting points. Can you see that happening at Liverpool? Can you see Liverpool winning the next
I think it all depends on Sturridge. I think if Sturridge comes back
again.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. If he can somehow come back, then I think Rodgers may still be in a job. But also, if the Liverpool bosses say, well, we're going to give you until after the transfer window, which is a big thing. If they give him after the transfer window, then they're kind of stuck until the end of the season. But if they say, we'll give you a bit more money, you need to bring in someone and you need to change things now, I think then he might have a chance. But other than that, I don't know.
He spent millions.
I know. I know. But all I'm
saying, who is he going to buy? Who's going to want to go? Look, Liverpool need a world-class goalkeeper. Why they didn't do exactly what Manchester United have done and give Victor Valdez the free reign of your training ground to get yourself back fit. Where's the first place Victor Valdez is going to go for a job once he's back fully fit?
Yeah. Well, it's probably
Manchester
already
United.
it's probably already in the cards. Like they've probably talked.
Exactly. So why, when that opportunity was there, why did Brendan Rodgers let Reina go?
Yeah, and I also think he was better. I think he was better than Mignolet now anyway. So
yeah, that's true.
Exactly. So they had a quality goalkeeper there, and they've let him go. Not sold him, but I don't want you, so you can go out on loan for 12 months, and now we'll give you away for free.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
The players he's bought, the players he's brought in. Balotelli was a massive, massive gamble, and it hasn't paid off.
But I think that's a gamble for anyone getting Balotelli. They seem to think they was getting a world class player on the cheap, but
that's the thing for me. Balotelli was available, and nobody wanted him. It's like now, if Sergio Aguero became available, everybody with any money, and I mean any football club, Liverpool, Arsenal, Spurs, Bayern Munich, anybody, they'd all want him.
Yeah.
If Wayne Rooney became available, they'd all want him. If Danny Welbeck became available, Norwich would want him. But Balotelli was available. There was no, he could go to United, he could go back to City, he might go to Juventus, he might go to Bayern Munich, he might go to Dortmund, he might go to... No, he's available, he's going to Liverpool for 60 million. Nobody else wanted him.
Yeah,
because everybody else knew what the risk. You were getting a player that's got the ability to be, on his day, unplayable, but he's got that little bit in him to go, well, do you know what? Again, Mario Balotelli plays for Mario Balotelli and he doesn't care about the football club.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. Right, let's get onto the final topic. Dave Whelan, the stupid comments that he's made and appointing Malky Mackay as manager, controversial to say the least. What do you guys think about this?
I think it's a very intense situation that's somehow come from... I don't know. I don't actually understand how Dave Whelan got himself into this. 1 minute I'm watching the news and it's saying, Malky Mackay signed, and that's a bit controversial. Then 2 days later, Dave Whelan's got to come out and do an apology because he's said things that could be interpreted as racist. Yeah. And it's like, what's going on? How has this managed to happen? And then we all probably put our heads in our hands and couldn't believe what we were hearing when he made the "my friends" comment. And it's like, what's going on here?
Yeah, it's kind of like, please stop.
Exactly, yeah. And
it's ridiculous. The fact. Yeah, go ahead.
Is it not a classic situation? And number one, let me put this out there straight away. I'm not defending any of Dave Whelan's comments whatsoever. No. What he said was irresponsible. It was stupid. It's probably going to cost him his job. Not in a way that he's going to have to obviously leave Wigan, but I think it's going to get to the point now where somebody at that football club is going to turn around and say, listen, Dave, we're going to have to bring somebody else in to start doing these press conferences and these interviews, because anything like that, mate. And Wigan Football Club are a family football club. It's not like your big corporate teams like your Arsenals and Uniteds, and they're a family football club. They still run that way. And they can't be seen to be a racist football club with a racist owner. But on saying that, I think his comments were of his era, his age, the generation that he grew up in. And is that race because certain things 50 years ago were not frowned upon? Certain ways of talking to people and names and comments were not classed as racist. I mean, you watch any of the old-fashioned, you're on the buses and Porridge and Open All Hours and things like that, the old comedies.
Yeah.
It was comedy, it was fun, it was a laugh, and it wasn't taken as offence. But in this day and age, those comments are taken as offence. And I think that's where he needed to realise that, 50 years ago, Dave, what you said maybe wouldn't have been classed as being racist. But in this day and age, it is.
Yeah.
But I think if he's got as a club owner, he's got a duty of care to not think like, oh, this was funny 50 years ago. He's got to keep up with the times and know what's to say and what's not to say. And if he can't do that, he does need to do what is going to happen, apparently, and that his grandson, someone who's lived in modern times and knows what's allowed him, knows what isn't, to then do what Leon said and do the press conferences and everything, and what you said, Richard Way, does the public announcements and stuff, because like Wigan have been, people may not know Wigan too much as a team, and yet they're opening the papers and it says Wigan racist team, and it's like chairman's racist and everything, the manager's allegedly racist and everything, so it's like he's putting the club in so much disrepute.
Exactly, and I think a lot of people is, oh, that's the racist club, isn't it?
Exactly.
Oh, that's the racist club.
I think as well, I think the football club, not just Dave Whelan, I think whoever made the decision now on Malky Mackay being the manager. Now, first of all, it's a great appointment for that league because Malky Mackay knows how to win in that league.
Yeah.
But the football club knew they'd made a mistake, and they knew they'd made a mistake because they had the club captain, Emerson Boyce, come out straight away with an interview supporting the new manager. Now, is it coincidence that Emerson Boyce is black and he's, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not, but also, the football club knew we're appointing a manager that is currently being investigated for being racist, so we'll have our player come out and support this manager, because they knew straight away, as soon as they employed Malky Mackay, it was going to be uproar. You're employing a manager that's currently being investigated for being racist, and maybe Dave Whelan's trying to take the heat off the whole situation by saying what he said in jest or with no malice whatsoever, but it's just snowballed and snowballed and snowballed, and I won't be surprised if Malky Mackay's not the manager of the football club in a few weeks.
Yeah, but also, don't you think it was a bad appointment anyway?
I think personally just shows the modern times we have a football where morals go straight out the window. It's the sense that this guy has a proven track record of getting promotion, therefore he must be our manager. And it's like, but he has got this investigation. It's like, no, it's all right, because he's going to get us in the Premier League and make us a big team, put us in the Premier League, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly.
Regardless of ethics and everything, it's all about this, getting in the Premier League at whatever cost possible. Exactly, we saw the same with Cardiff. They let a chairman come in because he had the money to get them in the Premier League, and he's changed the club's colours and the badge.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's a comedy. It's like they do this because just because you can do something doesn't mean you should, and you're changing things that have been there for like potentially 100 years. You know, these are old clubs. These aren't new clubs, and you know, make your own team if you want to do that. You know, you've got the money to, and then just do it yourself. But like with Whelan, Wigan's problems aren't going to be solved with Malky Mackay anyway. But he's come in, he's still had this over, and I don't understand why he would want to take this job straight away as well, because surely he must have known the backlash that he was going to receive.
Yeah, I mean the FA have charged him today, haven't they? This evening, they've charged him with obviously the comments that he's made about Jewish and Chinese people, etc. Which that's only going one way. The football association, however off the cuff or in jest or without malice those remarks were, the football association now are going to have to come down heavily on Dave Whelan because of what he said. Now, on the flip side of that, his comments are not too dissimilar to the emails or text messages that Malky Mackay sent. Yeah. So they're going to have to now come down hard on Malky Mackay. So again, like I said, it's the whole situation has just snowballed out of control. And again, I won't be surprised if in the next few weeks or so, Dave Whelan steps down as not the chairman of the football club. Don't get me wrong, he's still going to be the owner of the football club. I'm not saying that he should walk away from Wigan Athletic, because if that happens, then Wigan Athletic are in a sorry state of affairs. But maybe step down as being the face and the comments and things.
Yeah, just take a back step.
Yeah, take a back step. Be the silent person in the background and just let somebody else take the reins, so to speak.
Yeah, and because I think, especially with Whelan, such a sort of dinosaur, you need to have someone that's going to connect with certain fans. You need people that's going to be able to go out there and be like, I'm here to help the team. I'm here to be with the community, and you don't see that with them. You just see him as a dinosaur, and you need to connect.
But that's the thing is with Wigan Athletic, they are a community. They're a family football club. I mean, they are. And this now is tarnishing everything that Wigan Athletic, let's be honest, Wigan Athletic beat Manchester City 2 years ago in the FA Cup final, 18 months ago, whatever it was, and they won the FA Cup. If this goes on as far as it could go on, everybody could forget anything good that Wigan Athletic have ever done. It'll be known as the racist football club.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's how bad this. That's how bad this can be tarnished. Wigan Athletic could be forever known as the football club that had the racist manager and owner.
Yeah, it could be, and it's one of them things where certain players will start avoiding you, and they need all the players that they can at the moment. But
exactly,
that's for them to make the decision on, and for the Football League. But I think this is the end of the show, guys. Thanks for another great episode.
Yeah, but look, I know this is a predominantly a football show, but I just think with today's activities in the cricket, I just think we should all pay our respects to Philip Hughes.
Yes, definitely.
What's happened there it's
a tragedy.
It's a preventable accident. And hopefully they can make some changes in that sport, because a 25-year-old lad's lost his life there today for no reason whatsoever. So just on there, I know it's a football show.
No, definitely. We're all sports fans and we're all humans at the end of the day. And someone's lost their life. It was a tragedy. It's a tragedy, but we like to send our condolences to the family and friends of this guy. He's what a tragedy.
Definitely.
But that's the end of the show, guys. And if you would like us to discuss a particular topic next episode, please leave a comment in the description. A like would be appreciated if you enjoyed the show. And thanks.
Can I just quickly plug the Twitter account? Just quickly, It's at Football Suite. We're available all the time. Just tweet us anything you want. Questions, debates, anything. We're up for anything. We accept all fans. Any football club you support, we'll talk to you.
Apart from anybody that thinks Danny Welbeck's a good player, you get blocked.
No, you won't. You'll be endorsed. You'll be loved by us all.
He's secretly heartbroken that he left.
I think Richard's still not got over it. Like when your girlfriend leaves you and you kind of pretend you never liked her anyway. I think that's
definitely.
What it kind of is.
It is.
I go to sleep at night with my Danny Welbeck shirt on, cry myself to sleep, and just think, we got £60 million for this cart horse. What an absolute fantastic bit of business that was.
Scored more goals than Falcao.
And we'll end the show there.
He's played more games than Falcao.
And we'll end the show there. The hashtag the Football Suite Welbeck will continue the next show. So look forward to that. But okay, thanks guys.
Thanks a lot, guys.
See you later, guys.